January 12th's iteration of Smackdown was an improvement from last week, as the show does well with the uptick in wrestling, despite some noticeable absences. Today on Joshua's Breakdown, I'll be discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly of Smackdown. If you're interested in seeing more content, be sure to follow the Two Small Marks Instagram and Threads account, where we cover all wrestling shows live. Starting with the bad, there were a few things that made the show slightly disappointing. First, the no-shows of Roman, Solo, and The Rock. I get The Rock was just there to promote the Netflix premiere on Raw, so I didn't really want him to come out and waste 20 minutes talking about nothing anyway. And I guess you can write a reason why Solo wasn't there on the show that would make sense. But there's really no reason why Roman wasn't on the show. Roman just won the title back of Tribal Chief, and he's not on SmackDown this week to celebrate and then call out Cody himself to say he's coming for his title? That's pretty disappointing, and really makes the win less impactful. If Roman is going to continue to be part-time, I definitely don't want him winning the Royal Rumble, and I don't want him being WWE Champion right now. The next bad thing about SmackDown was the match between Chelsea and Michin. Aside from not really needing another match between these two right now, the match didn't turn out to be that entertaining, as it seemed like Michin wasn't really trying to win. But since Chelsea won, I hope the feud will be done as of now, and hopefully Chelsea will go against another challenger that will make her actually look even better as a champion, since it doesn't look like her and Piper are breaking up right now. But the only question is who? There seems to be no women on SmackDown, so hopefully the transfer portal can start being emphasized more so more women can be on each show. Otherwise, I don't really see a great title reign from Chelsea Green. The last bad thing about SmackDown was the ending to the Fatal 4-Way to be the #1 contender for Tiffany Stratton's title. Bayley ended up picking up the win as she pinned Naomi, and even though I'm satisfied with Naomi being pinned, I felt it would have made more sense for Nia to win instead of Bayley. One, because it sets up a match between Nia and Tiffany, something I want to see, and two, because Nia has been shown to be dominant in months. Nia Jax hasn't been the same since teaming up with Liv and Raquel for War Games, right after just losing to Liv at Crown Jewel. So Nia winning this Fatal 4-Way would have been a good way to show she hasn't lost her touch, because the last couple of months has caused the audience to forget why Nia was champion in the first place. I mean, you can only beat Bayley and Naomi so many times before it gets boring. The biggest question now is, what's next for Nia Jax, since she didn't win? Will she still end up facing Tiffany for a title, or will she end up going to Raw in the transfer portal? I personally think Nia should stay on SmackDown because she's needed, and also still go against Tiffany for the title. Whatever the case may be, hopefully Nia can continue showing her dominance. Next, when it comes to the good in SmackDown, there were a couple of things. And it starts with the show seeming like it had more wrestling than last week. SmackDown's 3-hour show last week seemed to drag on throughout, as it seemed like creative was unsure what to do with the extra time. This week, however, creative does a nice job utilizing the 3-hour format to its full potential by actually including more wrestling and utilizing more lower level talent from the roster. This week, SmackDown actually had 2 matches being showed in a row instead of adding a talking segment in between the matches like usual. Matches such as Los Garza vs Pretty Deadly and the Motor City Machine Guns vs A-Town Down Under was a good inclusion because it actually shows creative putting some care into the tag team division. Also, the matches themselves weren't bad at all, as the teams did well to showcase their talent in the ring. And this is me not even mentioning Jacob Fatu spitting bars.
The difference between our bloodline is your bloodline left you on the front line to dead line.
And Jimmy Uso roasting the hell out of Carmelo.
Melo don't miss. With all those bricks, you can build a damn house.
It'll be interesting to see if this trend continues though with the 3-hour format, and if more lower level wrestling talent will have a chance to shine. Fingers crossed to Apollo actually getting a match instead of walking backstage and talking to Pretty Deadly. And lastly, when it comes to the ugly of SmackDown, it revolves around Bianca, Naomi, and Jade. First, after Tiffany Stratton came out to celebrate, she was of course interrupted by Nia, who was of course interrupted by Bayley, who was then interrupted by Naomi and Bianca, talking about winning a shot at the title. But my biggest problem with this segment is Bianca seemingly playing second fiddle to Naomi. Not only did she come out with her music, which wasn't the first time, and something she never did with Jade, but Bianca should be the one talking about deserving the title shot, not Naomi. I'm honestly surprised Nick put Bianca in the Fatal 4-Way match to begin with, because Bianca was hyping Naomi Naomi up the whole time, not saying anything about deserving a shot with Naomi. One of my desires for 2025 in WWE is for Bianca Belair to get back into the women's WWE title picture, and she can't do that playing second fiddle to Naomi. So it'll be interesting to see just how long their reign as tag champions lasts and what will come of the Jade Cargill investigation. And speaking of the Jade Cargill investigation, that's the next ugly thing about SmackDown. Storyline wise, is Jade in a coma? There is still no leads on the Jade Cargill investigation, and at this point, I'm not even sure how they're even going to justify finding out who did it outside of Apollo saying he saw Naomi attack her that night. I mean, it seems like Nick put Stevie Wonder on the case to solve Jade's attack, because at this time, I feel like it'll take Batman to solve it with how much time has passed. Unless A-Town Down Under secretly has a tape and tries to blackmail Naomi with it. Huh? Make it happen, Creative. Otherwise, Creative is missing the ball with the Jade Cargill attack, and it could cause viewers to lose interest with the momentum it had. Also, P.S. I need that Jade Cargill PTO. Be sure to check out new audio episodes of the Two Small Marks Wrestling Show every Saturday, and be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. We'll see you next time.
Oh, and